Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining in. I hope you are able to hear my voice. Can you please confirm, folks? And I hope you should be able to see my screen as well. Okay, please let me know in the comment section to confirm that you're able to hear my voice and see my screen. Okay, thank you, Sauraranjan. Okay, thank you so much, team, for confirming. All right, guys, I can see few learners are still joining in. Let's do one thing. We'll give another minute. In the meantime, I think I just want to show like there has been a latest launch from Manifold AI Learning on the Python for MLOps AIOps course. So we'll have a quick look into the trailer and then we'll come back to our learning journey because I see the learners are still joining in. Okay, so we'll start in a minute, guys. Transform how you work with technology. Our Python Essentials for MLOps, DevOps, and AIOps course will unlock the secrets of streamlined development, intelligent automation, and efficient operations. As you progress in your learning journey, you'll be mastering the Python fundamentals, discover the file automation strategies, conquer the command lines with ease, and even deploy the infrastructure like a pro. And this curriculum has been carefully designed so that as a learner, you'll be learning everything in a hands-on manner. This will unlock your potential in building the practical tools, scripts, and the pipeline that will amaze your team. You'll be diving into the package management, Docker, CI/CD workflows, and even the AWS fundamentals that will make you to be confident in implementing everything over the cloud. So take your skills to the next level with in-demand expertise in MLOps, AIOps, and even you'll also get a bonus content on the monitoring the applications as well. So by the end of this course, you won't just use technology, you'll own it. So stop struggling, start excelling, and upgrade your career. My name is Murthy from Manifold AI Learning. I look forward to seeing you on the class 1. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. And I see most of you have joined. Okay, thank you so much again, everyone, for joining in on this session on NVIDIA Certified Generative AI LLMs. That's the certification by NVIDIA. And the overall agenda of this session is to take you through as how you can prepare yourself for this one of the most in-demand certification that we have got right now, which would help you to showcase yourself your knowledge around the generative AI and the large language models. So that's the overall agenda. So we'll be taking you through the steps that you need to follow and uh, how you can clear your examination at the first attempt. So that's the overall goal, guys. So as we progress in this session, we'll look into the certificate. What are the key areas that you have to look out for your certification preparation? What kind of questions that you can expect? And how do you sign up for the certification? What are the recommended resources for you to get started? And things that you need to remember on the examination day. And I'll also talk about the possible issues and my thoughts around the examination because I've cleared this examination yesterday. So I'll be glad to provide the insights and the things that I've used. Okay. Now, before we get started and before I share these guys, so let me just share you about myself so that you'll have a perspective according to me. Okay. So I'm I'm an MLOps manager working in a top consulting firm, and I've got more than 10 years of experience. So my role would include the working with the teams and implementing the machine learning and deep learning projects. And I've worked on various sectors like retail, healthcare, banking, and insurance. And I've been working in this space of natural language processing from more than 2 years. Like before the large language models came into picture, we've been working with generating the chatbots and working with the open source models that we have got and build it for that domain, like for the one that we are interested in. So that's my role till now. Okay, that's what I'm doing it on a day-to-day basis. I'm also certified in AWS machine learning, AWS DevOps, AWS data engineer. So these are the certifications that I've got from the AWS perspective. So I currently manage a team of 15 people. I'm responsible for the end-to-end pipeline. And I also shared my knowledge through manifold AI learning. I've taught more than 50,000 learners around the globe in this field of data science and machine learning. And yeah, that's my journey is. And the core idea, or as I mentioned earlier, so I want to share as how you can uh, get an email from NVIDIA, which says that, okay, you have earned a badge from NVIDIA. So that's the overall idea. So like we want to understand as how you can get the certified from NVIDIA about the certification that is a recently launched certificate that is NVIDIA Certified Associate on Gen AI and large language models. So here, as we progress, I'll talk about the steps that you need to follow so that you can achieve the badge from NVIDIA, which would help you to add it on your profile, which will be of the high value because generative AI these days are in demand. And this is a certificate that will help you to, which is an industry standard certificate. It's not just a simple certificate, it's an industry standard certificate that would help you to like say that, okay, you're someone who has got the necessary skills and the knowledge in working with this generative AI. So let's get started, guys. Now that you have understood the overall agenda, so this session is practically for anyone who is thinking of appearing for the NVIDIA certification from this generative AI. So this session is intended for everyone so that you will get the correct path to follow so that you can get yourself certified. So this certificate, which we are talking about, it's an industry standard credential. So it's a certification that is provided by NVIDIA, which is a major player in this AI and computing hardware. So with this certificate, it would demonstrate your knowledge and the skills in working with generative AI and the large language models. And when we talk about the focus of this certificate or some of the key things that you will be tested on your certification journey is this certification covers the full development cycle of building the AI application with the focus on understanding the machine learning and neural networks. So if I want to name some of the high level details that you will be tested upon in this examination are designing the effective prompts for LLM, ensuring the proper output alignment, data handling, experimentation, and some of the best practices that you need to follow when you are conducting the experiment, the evaluation metrics that you need to use, the programming and deployment of the large language model based application. So these are the core areas that you will be tested upon in this NVIDIA certificate, which means your preparation should be around these five headings which we are talking about. Now we'll deep dive as we progress in this session as what are those topics over here. And see, the reason that you want or you can aim for this certificate is one, it would showcase your expertise. It's like a proof of your expertise. So in this rapidly growing field of generative AI, so this certification will definitely provide you the validation of your skill. And this would provide the competitive advantage. So basically, it would help you to stand out in the job market. That would help you to showcase your knowledge in this cutting edge AI technologies. And it would also help you to stay relevant. So you'll be able to demonstrate your commitment to the continuous learning in this dynamic AI landscape. I'm sure everyone would agree the way in which that we are progressing. So there is a very high importance and there is high focus on the industries on this AI. So irrespective of the domain, whether it is retail, healthcare, banking, in each and every sector, we see the impact of AI. So this certificate will help you to demonstrate your commitment to this continuous learning in this dynamic AI landscape. Now, here in this learning journey or the key areas that you have to focus on for your certification preparation is one is importance on the fundamentals. So here in this importance of fundamentals, some of the key areas or key things that you should be aware is what is supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, key differences between them, what algorithms are suited for which kind of task, and what are the evaluation metrics, the difference between the supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and difference between classification and regression. And you'll be able to say, provided a given use case, you should be able to classify that given use case to one of it. Like for example, like I'll just give you an example question. So the question can be something as, suppose I have a requirement to build a model which would help me to predict the speed of a vehicle. Now, in that scenario, which task in machine learning does it belong to? Now, the options will be the classification, regression, recommendation system, and clustering. Now, what do you think is the answer? That's correct. It's regression, isn't it? If I want to determine a continuous value, it would be a regression. So, like, even though it's a basic and it's like it's a simple one. So these are the questions that you will be asked. And the reason that I'm stressing these, even though it is basic as well, because in your examination, you'll just have 60 minutes. Okay. And you have to attempt 50 questions. So which means you should not be spending more time in answering it. So you should be aware of these foundation concepts. And also let me give you one more example around the evaluation metrics. So suppose if I'm trying to build a model and I want to go ahead and uh, reduce the false positives. Okay, I want to reduce the false positives in a given data set. Now in that scenario, which metric do you recommend? So what do you think, guys? So I'll leave it up to you. Just think about it. Okay. So if I want to reduce the false positive, which metric that I have to focus on? So think about it. If you're aware of it, yes, do let me know in the comment section about which metric that I have to use. But I hope you're getting the kind of questions that you can expect. Okay. And coming about the other topics that I've seen is the neural network. So I've got two questions related to the neural network, and one was about the activation function, and the other one was what kind of architecture do you prefer for a given use case? So the concept of perceptron, activation function, and the back propagation for model training. This is an important one because that is actually a basis of any neural network training. And you should be aware of the various architectures such as CNN, recurrent neural network, LSTM, which are relevant for various tasks like the text and the image processing. So these are the key areas to focus on from the neural networks. And moving on, the second heading it was mentioned was the LLM, that is a large language model. Now, one key area that I would highly recommend if you're someone who's preparing for this examination, specifically from the LLM standpoint, is go through the research paper of attention is all you need, because easily you'll get two questions and you should be able to answer it in a easier way. So I've got two questions, and luckily two questions were on the same thing. Like I got the two questions on positional encoding in the transformer architecture. So the first question was, what is the role of positional encoding? And the second question was, it's this they were asking the same thing but with a different rephrase. So what is the importance of positional encoding, something like that? The answer was same, but that basically shows the importance of transformer architecture. Okay, so you should be having the core idea about those transformer architecture. What are those parts? What is the role of positional encoding? What happens over there, and why do we require the connections, the residual connections that you see over there? And what is the overall architecture that you would see in the original transformer, and how is it different from the other models such as the decoder based models such as GPT model? So you should be having an intuition around these topic like attention mechanism, self-attention, encoder decoder structures, and the key things that are driving the famous models. Like it could be GPT, BERT, or Gemini. So similar large language models. You don't have to know the complete technical details, but having a basic understanding will definitely be helpful. And you should also be aware of the LLM capabilities and the limitation. So should be aware about what exactly is a pre-training and what is fine-tuning, and why do we require the fine-tuning, and what is the idea or the thought behind this. And what are the various kinds of like large language model training, like zero shot learning or multi-shot learning. There are various types that we have got. Okay, so what does it actually mean, and what kind of tasks that my LLMs are actually good at, and what kind of areas does these LLM would struggle, and how do you take care of the context or the bias, and how do you evaluate the large language models, the types of large language model, the RAG architecture. How do you ensure that your AI that you're trying to build is an ethical one? How, like, there were a few questions about the ethical AI. What kind of strategies that you would propose around it, and how do you perform the fine tuning? So there were two questions about the famous large language models. So what is the fine tuning mechanism that has been used in such famous large language models? So these are the key areas that you have to focus on when we talk about from the large language models perspective. Okay. And apart from that, so there were some questions around the prompt engineering. The questions were all related to how do you create an effective prompt, and what is the importance of prompt engineering? How do you handle the data? So this, under the data handling, I've got multiple questions, especially related to processing the text data, the importance of each and every step. There was a question about why do you prefer the TF-IDF versus the vectorizer or a count vectorizer? So why do we prefer it? Well, TF-IDF technique will basically help us to give lowest priority for the repeating words in my entire text corpus, and it will give high importance for the words that are repeated in a single document. And there were few, then the concept of word embeddings. What are the techniques that are available inside this word embeddings? How word embeddings are trained? So, so these are the concepts that you have to focus on from the data handling standpoint. And also, how do you prepare the data to best work for large language models? Under the data analysis and visualization, what tools and libraries that are required for exploring the data and understanding and visualizing the results from the LLM experiment? And there has been, I would say, one or two questions around the dimensional reduction techniques as well. There was a question about like how do you like why when do you prefer the TSNE? So those kind of questions that you can expect. Okay, so I have personally got the questions around that topic, which is related to the dimensionality reduction too. And so this was about the data handling. Coming to the experimentation, you should be learning the topics related to the experiment setup, how you can, how to design the controlled experiments with baselines and track the modification. You should be aware of the hyperparameter tuning technique. Okay, evaluation. So these are the few things that you have to focus on. Now, this evaluation is very much important. So when we talk about natural language processing, we'll be dealing with various tasks, like you'll be dealing with the translation, you'll be dealing with the, let's say, classification. So in each and every task that you would perform with natural language, you should be aware about what are the evaluation metrics that are available. Okay, because evaluation is an important aspect of the large language models. And you should also be aware about the development and deployment. When we say development and deployment, so you should be having the knowledge about the TensorFlow, PyTorch, Hugging Face, and the overall concepts around it. Like when I say overall concepts, what are the abilities that we have got in order for us to build such large language models and work with the large language model? And what are the best practices that we need to follow, and how do you deploy the large language model solutions? How about the scalability? How do you take care of the scalability? So these are the other aspects that you would consider during your working. Okay, and since this examination is from NVIDIA, so the other key areas which you have to focus on is the NVIDIA offerings. You can expect 20% of questions around it easily by just going through their official page. So you should, like, I've got two questions about this AI inference Triton, and I got one question about the Nemo framework and its importance, and two questions about the rapid solution, which is the libraries that we have got, where we can apply the machine learning on the NVIDIA GPU. So to give you an example, So if I want to go ahead and let's say implement the XGBoost, which library should I use? So the correct answer will be QML. QML is a library that we have got from the NVIDIA, where we can use it and apply the XGBoost algorithm from that. Okay, or if you are working with data pre-processing, which and you have got a large data set and you want to run it on GPU, which library do you use it? Well, in such scenarios, you will make use of cuDF, where you can load the data as a data frame, but this time the data frame will be loaded on from the GPU. Okay, these are the core aspects that you have to focus on. And also you should be aware of the NGC software catalog. What does it mean? Because these are all the offerings from NVIDIA. So the questions will be about like, okay, so what is the role of this NGC from the NVIDIA? So if you just go through their official product page and go through their offering, so I would say you will be able to easily crack 20% of the questions. Okay, so here, uh, okay, so here in this case, guys, so when we talk about this, uh, like when we talk about this overall like syllabus, you can see that it covers multiple aspects. Okay, it covers multiple aspects over here. So, and also the kind of questions. Okay, now that you have looked into the syllabus, what kind of questions that you can expect. Now, coming to the type of questions. So there are only two types of questions you can expect from the examination. One is multiple choice, multi-correct select, where they will mention a statement and they will ask you select the ones which are correct. So that's an example of multiple choice, multi-correct select. And the other option that you would get is multiple choice, single correct answer. Okay, so these are the two kinds of question which you can expect in your examination. So what we have done right now is we went through the key topics that we have to focus on and the type of questions that you can expect in your examination. Now the question is, okay, how would you go about and prepare for this examination? So as I mentioned at the earlier itself, so I'm working in this domain of data science machine learning for more than a decade, and I've been working with NLP domain for more than 2 to 3 years on various client projects. So if you ask my preparation, so like at the max I've prepared specifically for the examination, I will say 2 days, that too specifically to revise few topics from the NVIDIA and the NVIDIA products. Now, if you're someone who is new to the data science, who is new to the generative AI, so then I would say you will require a considerable amount of effort when it comes to the preparation. So some of the key preparation resources, like these are the resources that I would recommend. Now, let me give you one more thing, guys. So these resources are from Manifold AI Learning, since I'm an author from at Manifold AI Learning. So these are the courses which I personally feel is best. But yes, I've also mentioned the other recommended resources as well, which I felt very much useful during my learning journey. So here, one course that I would recommend from the Manifold AI Learning is Mastering the Generative AI in 2024. So this is basically a package. So if I talk about this package, so this package has got more than 13 courses, and this package will also include the certification specific preparation. The course page is being updated in the backend, but yes, this package will consist of anything and everything for the learner to get started for their NVIDIA certification preparation. Like if you look at it, you'll be learning about Python, generative AI, like you'll also get the natural language processing, prompt engineering, what is prompt engineering and generative AI, and how do you go ahead and implement it, the knowledge of working with cloud, the knowledge of machine learning, the knowledge of deep learning, the mathematics behind it. So this is a package which covers I would say, an end-to-end, like for someone who is very new to generative AI, machine learning, and deep learning. I highly recommend you to choose this package because you'll get I would say, a single place where you will get the most of the resources that you would require to learn everything from scratch. Now, the other resource that I can recommend, this is specifically to the certificate. Okay, this is called as the NVIDIA Certified Associate. Now, this is an early release. So since I've completed the examination just yesterday, So you can, I think the current plan is to complete everything by 15th of June. But as I mentioned, there has been milestone that has been defined. So within 1 week, you'll also get the guide, which is related to the complete steps and preparation. And by the 25th of May, the current plan as of now, you'll get the overall resources to to complete your certification journey. So these are the two resources from Manifold AI Learning that I would recommend. Okay. Now, apart from that, the resources which has really helped me are these are the resources. One is the book on LangChain in your pocket by the author Mehul Gupta. So I personally like this book. So this book gave me some concept, especially help me to brush up the concepts related to large language models, its types. So this book is the one that I would highly recommend. So I got it from Amazon. Like I purchased through an ebook, and I've read just 2 days before my examination. And the other books, if you're someone who is very new to the natural language processing, and if you want to learn more, so since transformers plays a key role in the large language models, so the two books, like the second book that I would recommend is Natural Language Processing with Transformers by the authors Lewis Tenstall, Leandro von Vera, and Thomas Wolf. This is an excellent resource for learning about this Hugging Face library and using the Hugging Face library for various tasks. And the best part is this book talks about usage of transformer-based architecture for various tasks. That will give you a clear picture about the role of transformers. And even though you may not directly work with LLM in every case, but yeah, you will be working with most of it so that you will be much confident about working in an hands-on manner. And if you're someone who is completely new to machine learning and deep learning, so this is one of my favorite books, that is Hands-on Machine Learning with Scikit, Keras, and TensorFlow by Aurélien Guérin. So these are the three books that I would highly recommend if you're someone who wants to take a self-paced learning approach or self-study approach. So these three books would help you, I would say, would cover the majority of essentials. Now, apart from this, you can go through the NVIDIA page to learn more about the certification. And as I mentioned, you should not miss these topics from the NVIDIA. Like you should be understanding their product offering from NVIDIA so that you'll get the complete details around it. Now, I'll be sharing these resources in the chat window, but let me tell you guys, so this session is getting recorded, and also the sessions recording and the PPT, the resources that I'm mentioning, I'll be attaching under this Manifold AI Learning workshop. This is the link where you can actually sign up. So once the session is completed, so we'll be sharing you, like we'll be attaching the PDF over there, the discussion, because this PDF will serve as a guide, because not only it is going to showcase right now about how you should prepare, I'm also going to take you through the examination process, how you should sign up, and the key things that you need to focus on. Okay, that we'll be discussing very shortly. But before that, let me share you the links over here. Okay, I've shared you the links in the comment section, guys. So please have a look into the same and register yourself to this Manifold AI Learning workshop so that you'll be able to access the today's session recording as well as the PDF or the slides that we are discussing, so that you'll have everything at a single point. Okay, now now that you have seen, okay, like you are sorted with the important things. So you're sorted with what is the certificate is about, and what are the areas that you have to focus on, and the type of questions, and the recommended resources. So you're sorted with all these things, and you have referred to all these resources, and you started your learning journey, and you are prepared yourself for this examination. Now, how do you sign up for the certificate? Now let's have a look into the steps as how do you perform the setup, sign up for the certificate. So here, my obvious recommendation is yes, follow the official instructions from the official page. Let me take you to the official page. So this is the official certification page of this NVIDIA Certified Generative AI LLM. So over here, you can get the complete details. See, the cost is $135. The duration is 1 hour, and the number of questions is 50. Okay, so just click on this register for examination button. So this will take you through some talview.com, and from there you'll have to make use of your credit card or debit card and complete your payment so that you can go ahead and schedule your certification examination. So they've also mentioned the additional details as well. You can check over here. So they've also recommended few training. Now, if you are someone who wants to learn directly from NVIDIA, they have recommended few training. So I try to check and I try to personally try to register for their training just to see how it would look like. But most of them were related to the live webinars, so which I didn't had the time. So I was just checking out 2 days earlier. So none of them were self-paced. So I went through with the knowledge and the experience that I had, and I was able to clear it, guys. But yes, you can also check out this page for the complete information about the resources that you can review it. And they've also mentioned few more things like additional materials as well. You can definitely go through. So there's a web page that they have shared which is about trustworthy AI. So I would highly recommend you to go through this page, especially on the trustworthy AI, because when we are building any large language models and use it on the application which will impact the people, we need to build that artificial intelligence which is trustworthy, and it's a fundamental aspect of any AI operation that we are going to do these days. So I highly recommend you to check out and just go through it at a very high level, and it would help you to get a perspective as what they are trying to achieve and what is this overall trustworthy AI is all about. Okay, so this is where you can get the complete information, guys. Okay, and once you schedule your examination, so there are some recommendations that I would highly do, especially before your certification day. So you'll get a reminder email from NVIDIA, which says that, okay, hey, you've got your certification scheduled, and this is the certificate, and these are some of the instructions that you would get. Okay, so it is highly recommended that you perform the network test, and you do this test like whether it is network test or the secure browser installation. So do it on the system on which you are going to take your examination, and do this at least 2 days prior, so that if something is not working, you'll have an opportunity to reschedule it. Okay, so run the network test in your system, download and install the Talview secure browser and run it to see everything is working or not, and ensure that the government ID that you have got, okay, ensure that it is valid. Okay, and also just check whether the webcam is working. Just and do this check not on the day on the examination, but 2 days before the examination. And as per the NVIDIA, the reschedule policy says that so you can only reschedule your examination one time, and the new date must fall within 3 months of the exam purchase or the coupon redemption date. So by doing this 2 days prior, you will be ensuring that, okay, your hardware is ready and you will not have any issues on the examination day. Okay, so you will get an email, but don't depend on the email. On the first registration email itself, you'll get all these instruction. Do this 2 days before the examination. And then, okay, on the day of the certificate, so what you have to do is just check again audio and the webcam. Just ensure that you have got the proper network connectivity on the place where you are taking the examination, and ensure that there is no other laptop or computer on the study table, because you'll have to perform the 360-degree check. So you'll have to your webcam and do the 360-degree check, and ensure that you keep your mobile device away from you, like, but it can be in reachable distance, but it should not be with you where you can access it. Because you will be monitored, like you will be uh, you monitored like throughout your examination. And always start the examination on time, and use the joining link that is provided in that email that will open up your Talview browser, and over there you'll have to mention the verification code. So my recommendation is, so once you click on this link, okay, so it will close all the windows and it will open your Talview browser. So what I would recommend you to do is write this verification code in a sheet or just take a photograph in the mobile. Okay, so once you launch this link, since it will close all the windows, you cannot come back, switch the windows. You'll have to make use of your like mobile where you have taken the photograph of the verification code, or if you have noted somewhere in a sheet, just use that sticky notes and type that verification code over there, because unless and until you type that verification code, the examination will not be started. Okay, so these are some of the practical tips that I'm sharing it with you, because this is what I've faced, and this approach has really helped me. And possible issues. Okay, so one possible issue is, let's say if you have got the multi monitor fixed on your table. So I'll just show you my setup. Okay, so in my setup, where I've got, so I've got the multi-monitor setup. I've got three monitors and the laptop that I'm working with. Now, when I have this kind of setup, okay, so I cannot remove my monitor away. So obviously they will raise a concern saying that, okay, there's already a monitor exist. So in such scenario, you'll have to initiate a chat, let them know that you have disconnected your power, and they will ask you to record the power supply. Just do that recording. Maybe you'll have to record once or twice depending on the proctor. So you'll just have to do that once or twice, and you'll be able to get started. You just confirm that you have disconnected the power and show them that there is no connections that are going in for your laptop, and I think it should be sorted. So I didn't had any issues even with the multi monitor. I've ensured that there's no power that is connected to that laptop. Okay, and one more error that I personally faced is like, once the examination was completed, I got an error that says as error loading ProView, but that didn't had any impact in my certification. So it straight away, like, I thought there is an issue, and I tried to raise a ticket with the tal view. Okay, but like, but what happened was within just 5 minutes I got the examination result from the NVIDIA saying that a badge has been issued. Okay, so these were the tips that I want to share it with you all, guys, about the examination. So as I mentioned, so this NVIDIA Certified Generative AI LLM, so this I would say it's one of the most in-demand examination, because this is helping you to validate your skill set on the in-demand of this generative AI and the artificial intelligence. All right, guys. Now, if you have got any questions specifically for this examination preparation, please feel free to let me know. Okay, I see a question from Rajiv. Okay, can you share me the course link? Sure. Sure, team. Let me do one thing. I'll just share these learning resources in the chat window. You can have a look into the same. Okay, Echo, so he says, is this a multiple choice question? Yes, all the questions are multiple choice, and it can be multi-correct multiple choice, or it can be single correct answer. So it can be in that way. Okay, Shripad says, can you quickly show previous slide, point 1 and 2? Sure, Shripad. So is this the one, Shripad? So point 1 is fundamentals, which is about the machine learning concept and the neural network. And point number 2 is about the LLMs. Okay, so folks, just want to let you know that if you're trying to register for the generative AI package, so I can share you a coupon code. You can use this coupon code of Gen AI 5 to receive 5% discount on this generative AI package. And even let me check. Yeah, and this is the NVIDIA Certified Generative AI Associate. If you're someone who wants to opt for only the examination guidance, you can also opt for the same. And this is an early release course. So, like for this generative mastering the generative AI package, you get all the courses, which includes the future releases as well. Let me share you the link. And this coupon code is valid for the I think by the end of this session. So go ahead and register yourself to get the most of this coupon code, guys. Okay, so okay, examination fee is $135. So Shiva says, okay, during the course, how do you provide the support? Okay. So Shiva, like during every video, below the video, you'll have an option to specify your question or doubt. The learning support team will be able to answer any of the queries that you might have. And as a premium member of Manifold AI Learning, so you'll be getting the joining link, and you can also ask the question even in our weekend webinars as well. If something is still not clear, yeah, we can try to answer it once we have completed the webinar's agenda. Okay. Any other questions, team? Okay, what is the duration of the course? Okay, so Nagaraj, so here I think, as I mentioned, it's still started. So I'm expecting it would go more than 15 hours, considering the topics that we have got. This NVIDIA Certified Associate, it will go more than 15 hours for sure, as we will have to have the content related to the machine learning, deep learning. So that's my current understanding. It might go more than that as well. Okay, and you will have the lifetime access to these courses, whether it is the package or whether it is the individual course, folks. You'll have the lifetime access, and even if any updates would happen, you'll get the upgrades for free. Just to let you know, I think there were few learners who have joined this package 2 months back, and they are going to receive the updates. That means the new course that are being added, NVIDIA certification, or any new courses that are being added, so they'll be able to access it under this like mastering generative AI package. Okay. So Venkata says, can you share the slides? Yes, Venkata. So as I mentioned, I'll be sharing these slides under this webinar recordings. So so once the session is completed, I'll be sharing it with the learning team, and the learning team will be uploading within 24 hours, and they will drop an email to all the learners. So I'll be uploading over here. You can just sign up and you'll get an email notification. Okay. Any other questions, team? Okay, duration of days from the day of registration to the date of examination. Okay, Nagaraj, I haven't explored, currently speaking. I mean, uh, like it's so what I did was, like, what you can do is while making the payment, you will have to choose a slot. So there you can decide when you want to take that examination. So that's how it works, Nagaraj. Okay, any other questions, team? Okay. Oh, thank you, Venkata. Okay. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in and interacting with me. And I really wish you all the very best if you're someone who is starting out in their learning journey or in this generative AI. So do check out this course. And as an author with Manifold AI Learning, I've also got an opportunity to create multiple other courses as well. Do check out the courses from Manifold AI Learning. I've got an opportunity to create on MLOps, LLMOps, MLOps with AWS, and like there are multiple courses that I've got an opportunity to publish with them. So do check out the courses with them. And I hope to see you on the next webinar session, guys. And thank you so much for your time and joining in with me. Now you can also stay in touch with me over the LinkedIn as well. I've shared you my LinkedIn ID, so feel free to connect with me over the LinkedIn, and I'll be also sharing the updates if I publish any new work with Manifold AI Learning or any other platform. Okay, so with this, we come to the end of today's session, guys. Okay, okay, sure, Siva. Siva says, where to start? Last question in manifold course, where to start? So Siva, as I mentioned, okay, so it depends on your requirement. Like, are you talking specifically from this NVIDIA certification preparation? Like, are you talking specifically from this NVIDIA certification preparation, or is it in general? I mean, to which topic? Maybe I can answer. Okay, for generative AI. Okay, so what I would recommend you is, so here, since uh, since the this course NVIDIA Certified Associate, the work that I'm going to start, it's from following week. So when I say following week, so by fifth or sixth is when that I would start working on this course with them, the team of Manifold AI Learning. So till that time, I would highly recommend you to start with this LLMOps course. So this is the one where you would understand about the generative AI, prompt engineering, technical details of large language models, and how to work with this large language model. So this is the one that I would highly recommend you to start with, because that's the one that you will be tested upon. Now, as and when the curriculum gets updated on this course, yeah, you can also get the access as well on this NVIDIA certified course. So this is the course maybe you can start, and this course is also part of this Mastering Generative AI package. Okay, so once you enroll to this package, you'll have the access to all the courses. So you can start with this course. That is what I would recommend. You can purchase it individually, or you can also get all-in-one access. So Venkata says, do you have any course on data science and statistics fundamentals? So there's a dedicated course on statistics from Manifold AI Learning. You can check out linear algebra, calculus, statistics. So these are, I would say, a core part or even of like of any data science. So yeah, you can check out these. Okay, so I'm just sharing it for your reference. Okay, any other questions, team? So Siva, since you are a developer, yeah, you can definitely start with this one. I'm assuming that you are aware of Python programming. So Siva, are you aware of Python programming? Because Python programming is the assumption that we have got. The learner is aware of Python programming, and based on that, the applications that you see here, the advanced application is shown right here. So if you're new to the Python programming, maybe you can start with Python for Python programming for DevOps, MLOps, AIOps. So this is the one that would help you to master the Python. Okay. Any other questions, team? Okay, thank you so much again, everyone. So it was great, and I had a great time to interact with each and every one of you. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and do check out the courses from Manifold AI Learning. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Thank you, Siva. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Lakshman. Thank you, Samyukta. Thank you, Manasi. Okay, bye, everyone.